Hello students, I hope you all are fine and you are also preparing for your final examination. Your final examination is very soon and this year the syllabus is reduced, you have to study according to it. So today I am going to start a new chapter which is chapter number 12, Insolation. What does mean by this insolation? Insolation generally a simple thing which is the incoming solar radiation. It means the rays which is coming from sun in the form of solar radiation. It is called the insolation, or the incoming of sun rays. It is called insolation. Okay, and we know that very well about that. The main source of the heat and light on the earth is the sun, and we also know that there is an appropriate distance from this. That's why we are getting an appropriate amount of heat and light. That's why the life is possible on the earth. And this light is coming in the form of infrared and the ultraviolet rays. These infrarays are in the form of long waves and they are directly absorbed by the atmosphere. It does not reach on the surface. But the ultraviolet rays, it is a short waves and it reaches to the surface of the earth and it is absorbed by the O3 ozone layer. That's why it is protecting layer. In last chapter we have studied about it. Okay. So the next the more thing it is that the sun rays speed, it is near about 30,000 km per second. Generally we observe that in 8 minutes the sun rays are reaching to the surface of the earth in 8 minutes, or if talking about the speed, it is 30,000 km per second. If talking about the surface temperature of the sun, the surface temperature of the sun is 6000 degrees Celsius. And we also know that there's another important thing. The important thing is that the sun is directly inciding on this center part, equator. As we move from here to there, it means from pole, from equator to the pole, the temperature decreases because the sunlight is slanting over here and it is directly over here, and distance also here, distance also. So that's why the maximum temperature on the equator and minimum temperature at the pole. Second thing, it is the heating of the atmosphere. Heating of the atmosphere, generally we know that how the atmosphere is get heated. It is due to the sun's light. Now see, you can understand by this example easily. Here the insolation, which is called the incoming solar energy, 100% sunlight is coming, but this 100% is not reaching to the surface. Only reaching to the surface is 45% to the ground. How much? 45. And out of it 15% is absorbed and remaining 40% is reflected back from here in the above the surface. Okay, so this is the percentage of the difference. Okay, now you can get 45% reach to the ground, 15% absorbed by the atmosphere, it becomes 60, and 40 automatically reflect back from the atmosphere. And this atmosphere is got heated by these three processes: radiation, conduction, and convection. What are these? The radiation it means the surface got heated and it's radiate energy in the form of vibrating molecules. Okay, it releasing energy. This is called the radiation. The conduction are the vertically. Okay, this is a heating effect by the molecules of air. Okay, this heating of air from it means it is balancing from higher pressure to lower, the higher temperature to lower temperature, higher lower temperature to higher temperature, and it makes equal till the both the winds are not equal. It is continuously mixing and then it balances the atmosphere. And the third one, it is the convection. It means the vertically, just like on the above there is a cold air, in the surface there is a hot air. So the hot air got heated and it goes upside, and this cold air is coming down, it takes their place, it again got heated by this way in the circulation pattern. This is called the convection, and it happens in air and water both. It means the air and water medium both, liquid and gas both medium. Okay, so this is about these three: radiation, conduction, and convection. Now see in their definitions. The convection, it means the transmission of heat from one part of liquid or gas, as I told, either from the medium of liquid or gas, to the another by the movement of a particle themselves. It requires medium what? Air or water. These convection can transfer only by the air or water, or either the liquid or gas. Next one, it is the conduction. Conduction, it means heat is transferred directly through the metals of the point of the high temperature. And the conduction transfer heat between the adjacent molecules till the temperature is equal. Till the temperature is equal. And the radiation is a body emits energy. Okay, or we can say that a body emits radiant energy. Either just like in cities we feel that a very hot, but in villages it is cooler. Why? Because the buildings in the daytime it got heated, and the building got heated, and during the night it released the energy. This is called the radiating. Same like that, the surface got heated, and at the night time it releases energy or the heat. This is the radiation. I hope you clear. Then differential heating of the land and water. Differential heating of land and water. We know that the land and water, these both are a different heating temperature. The land got heated very fast, and sea got heated, or the water got heated very slow. Because of that, in the land the temperature are very extreme, either cold or either warm. But in the sea or in the water body, the temperature is moderate, not too much hot, not too much cold. So by this way, this differential heating is working. But there is also one terminology, it is called the solar constant. What is the solar constant? Actually the heat is releasing, but the atmosphere of the insolation reaching to the outer limit only till the 480 kilometers of the temperature of the atmosphere. It means from the 480 kilometer the temperature got heated, the atmosphere got heated, or the balance the heating. This is called the solar constant. Next one, it is the factor affecting distribution of temperature. What are the factors affecting the distribution of temperature? So there are so many factors: latitudes, altitudes, distance from the sea, winds, ocean currents, clouds and rainfall, slopes of the land, vegetation and natural soil. So first of all, let me clear this vegetation. Vegetation, it means on the surface, if the trees are available, so it get absorbs the heat, and that's why in the forest region the temperature is very cool, or the temperature is lower. And just opposite, if talking about the desert area, in desert area there is no vegetation, so soil got heated and there is no vegetation for this absorption. So that's why in the daytime it is very hot, and in the night time it is very cold. So that is the effect of vegetation. Another one, it is the nature of the soil. What is the nature of the soil? If the soil is a very moisture, so it takes more time as compared to the dry soil. As well as the color also, the black soil absorbs more heat as compared to the other loamy soil or other soil. Same like that, the sandy soil reflect light very fast. Okay, so these all are the nature of the effect. These also two that it balances this vegetation in nature. Now we are talking about the latitudes, altitudes, distance from the sea, winds, ocean currents, clouds and slope of the land, how they are affecting the distribution of temperature. Now see, now this is the effect of latitudes. So we know that very well, this is the structure of the earth. In the center there is the equator, here is the sun. So sunlight is directly on this equator. These are the latitudes, na? This is the equator, 0 degree latitude, and here it is the 90 degree latitude, it is the north pole. So as we go from equator to the north pole, so the temperature decreases. Why? Because the light is slanting over here and direct sunlight is here. Another one also, there is a distance from here is less, and here the distance is more as compared to it. So the temperature of the earth is decreasing from this equator to the pole. So this is the effect of latitude. Next one, it is the altitude. What does mean by the altitude? Altitude, it means the height of the any place. So generally we know that from altitude, as we go higher, the temperature decreases. Okay, and there is also one important terminology which is called the normal lapse rate. What is this normal lapse rate? 1 degree Celsius, already we have discussed in last lecture. 1 degree Celsius is decreases every 166 meter. It is called the normal lapse rate. So you can see here, as we move go higher, the temperature is decreasing. Here 80, 75, 70, 65, 60. So as the altitude is increases, temperature decreases. But there is also one important name. It is called inversion of temperature. What is this inversion of temperature? Now see, this is the inversion of temperature. There are some valleys places, especially this condition is for the valleys. Here, as we move go downside, temperature is also increases. But if we are going in higher side, then temperature increases. But in the valley, the temperature also increases as we move go downside. You can understand that. Okay. So this is the phenomenon of temperature of inversion. So the temperature decreases as we move go downside, the temperature decreases. Okay, next one, it is the distance from the sea. What is the distance from the sea? We know very well that the places very near to the ocean, they are having the moderate type of climate, and the places which is away from the ocean, they are having the extreme climate, either hot or either cold. Now you can see that here. Here you can see in the midsummer, because we already understand that the differential heating temperature means the water and land. The land got heated very fast and slow very fast, and water got heated very slow as well as heating very slow. So these both are slow. So in the summer, the water is slowly heating and the land is hitting very fast. So that's why you can see here the cold wind is coming from here. That's why here is always in the coastal areas, the temperature is always moderate, and just opposite in the winter season, the warm, because this water is got heated and then warm air is coming. It is called land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, this is because of that factor. That's why the equatable climate which is in Mumbai and extreme climate which is in Nagpur. Why? Because Mumbai it is in the near to the coastal areas and this Nagpur is in the land part. Next one, it is the ocean current. In the last lecture already we have discussed the ocean currents also influencing the places very near to it. If the warm water current passes through it, so this area got warming effect. Okay, so the area where the warm water currents is passing, they are getting the warm effect, and the area which are getting the cold water currents, so near the area they are getting the cold effects. Basically in the western part the cold water is moving, and in the eastern part the hot water is moving. So these ocean currents also influencing the differential heating effect. Next one, it is the wind or cloud. So this wind and cloud, we very well know that the wind is also a very important it play also a very important role. Basically there are two types of winds are moving in the coastal areas, the onshore or the offshore. The onshore, it means the sea to land, and the offshore, it means from land to sea. So when this land moves from here to there, it is not the structure. So if the wind is moving from land to sea or sea to land, so then it also changes their effect or the heating effect. Generally also you know that there are 2 or 3 types of different winds. In the next lecture we will discuss in detail. Just like you know very well about that Lu, which is especially blowing in the desert area, it is very hot. Same like that there is a Bora or Mistral, which is a cold wind. So the wind which is blowing, if the cold wind is blowing, so the area which is got cold, and if the warm wind is blowing, so the area will become the warm. So this wind also play a very important role. Next one, it is the cloud. So this cloud, just like you can see here, this cloud, how when the solar radiation is coming, so cloud absorbs and reflect the deal of solar radiation in here, and then again when it is in the daytime, okay, and at the night time, just opposite, these sunlight is not going back in the atmosphere. That's why it maintains the temperature of so clouds are a very important part, or they play a very important role for this balancing the or generally you also observe that if you feel that when the clouds are covered, so then you do not feel too much hot and too much cold. As the clouds clear, then you feel the proper temperature. So it is because of the absorption effect of the cloud. And how these clouds are formed, you know very well also about that. So these clouds are formed due to the evaporation. When the condensed these evaporated water droplets, then they are in the form of clouds, and then they are precipitated, means in the form of rain. So these clouds and rain are also influencing the temperature. Next one, it is the slope of land. Already we have discussed, it is in the inversion effect. So slope of the land. So because here you can see that the slope, how these are affecting, because the air which is prevailing from here, so it creates a more pressure to go higher. And if this type of wind is blowing from here, is that the height is increasing or decreasing, so this temperature is also decreases and the range of temperature is changes. And this effect is also on this, if what direction in which, just like here it is north direction, here it is south, so the sun direction where from here, so if here, so here you can get in that portion more heating effect as compared to it, because it is having the slanting sunlight or not direct sunlight. So these are also the south facing slopes are more sunny, south facing are the more sunny. So this is all about the chapter. Already vegetation and nature of soil we have covered. It's my kind request, again you have to read the book first, then you have to see lecture, and again you have to read book. These are nothing, it is very easy concept how these heating effect is changing. These all are the factors, these all factors are very easy. So thank you so much. If you still are having any problem, dikkat, pareshani, duvidha, shankar, trouble, whatever you are, you can just write comment, I will try to answer it. Thank you so much. Do prepare for the examination.